Rick Rude is the next guy who comes down, and he comes out. He's got no moustache still.
He lost all his powers for me. He looks like he's been sleeping in a van. He's very angry about getting chocolate by the doctor, because the doctor says he can't wrestle.
He says, I was stabbed in the back by my neurosurgeon, which I love as a phrase.
Who's got a neurosurgeon?
It's funny, isn't it? You don't realise how important his moustache is until it's not there.
And also, like, you can't see the rest of his body, so it's like, he's kind of lost that as well. It's
he's wearing a denim jacket.
Yeah, double denim.
Which is made of loads of, like, different patches of denim, but big sort of, like, pennants of denim. You know, that jacket looks a bit like if a serial killer had one made out of skin, but he's done it with denim. They are going to be stripping him of his US title if he doesn't defend it within 30 days. And they've also said you're no longer having your title match with Ron Simmons. So he's absolutely done. What is funny on this is you get Jesse Ventura, who is annoying because he's so quick and good at this.
Yeah.
And he basically, Jim Ross says, if he doesn't, defend the belt, he'll be stripped on the, whatever it is, I think he says the 20th of January. And Jesse Ventura, quick as a flash, just goes, that's not 30 days. He goes, that's 23 days, Ross. That's 23. That's not 30 days. He's going there trying to screw him out of... And Jim Ross, you can see him just going, I wish you had... maybe I should have checked. Right? Maybe I should have checked. But that was the thing I was given. And this isn't an angle.
Yeah. You know that this isn't a thing. Yeah.
I know you've jumped on it. How is this helping? How is this helping?
I know you've got to be the contrarian. I know that's kind of your character and what you're there for, but you don't point out the problems with the goalposts.
No, and then they both have to sort of go, well, there must have... Whoever's given us the date, there must have been some kind of issue. Someone's got it wrong, but it is wrong. That's wrong. And it's just like, oh my God, don't leap on that. It's not an angle. It's human error. This gives us, because Rick Rude can't take part in the next match, WCW champion Ron Simmons versus Dr. Death Steve Williams. Bill Watts' dream match.
Yeah.
Dr. Death against his African-American babyface. Yeah.
Ron Simmons is a fucking powerhouse in this.
He is. Both of them former football stars. Oh, yeah. A real sport for real men. It's another WCW title match for Ron Simmons that is nowhere near the main event on the card. Just badly booked. They're two big, strong guys, but they refuse to do any big moves. So there's a bit where they face off as sort of footballers and they charge into each other. It's funny because there's not enough run in the ring.
Yeah, to actually get any speed up.
Yeah, so they both are on like opposing corners and then they have to run to each other. Two steps. 1-2 bang. Like that. And you're like, yeah, that's a bit like, you remember 1 Inch Punch?
Yes.
At school where you'd sort of go, right, Bruce Lee can kill you with 1 Inch Punch. And you put your finger there and you put your finger down, like as hard as you could. It's a bit like that.
This is impossible. I don't care what Bruce... And I may sound like Quentin Tarantino saying this. But...
I've got a great story about Bruce Lee.
Right.
This is told to me by a friend of mine. Should I name him? He's an actor and he worked with Bruce Lee on a film.
Right.
So... But he did a film with
Jackie Chan
in London, and the film wrapped up, and they had to basically sort of account for all of the expenditure that had been done.
Yeah.
And one of the things, the guy was going through the thing, and he said, why has this production got a lock-up garage in Hendon? Right? What's that? And the guy said, that's
Jackie Chan.
Lock-up in Hendon. They're like,
Jackie Chan?
He's got a lock-up in Hendon. He's like, well, what is it? And it turned out that
Jackie Chan...
Basically, he does these very, very dangerous stunts, obviously.
Right.
And he's got a bit of OCD as a result.
Right.
Because obviously, if he doesn't think through everything, there's a chance that he's going to lose his head.
Yes.
So he is very, very anxious and tense. And he doesn't drink, and he certainly doesn't do drugs because he has to be so sort of alert all the time. And the only way that he can relax is he goes to his hotel room every night and he puts on the Home Shopping Network.
Right.
And lies on the bed. And one of the things he does is he orders a lot of things. That he has. Now, he got the production crew to get him a lockup because he was buying like 24 mops. And it would all go to the lockup. Yeah. And at the end,
Jackie Chan.
People had said, yes, that's Mr.
Chan's
lockup.
Lockup
and
of mops.
they said, we don't need it anymore.
Right.
They said, and just bin the stuff. Which, he doesn't want it.
The big mop lockup.
Apparently they went there, it was absolutely stuffed to the gills of like fryers, shoes.
Fantastic.
Like, just mad.
Jackie Chan.
Hendon lockup.
Love it.
Magic stuff. Magic stuff. This match just doesn't get better.
No.
It's slightly, the crowd get more behind it as they think that Ron Simmons is going to win. Dr. Death at this period is seen as being a really, really tough guy to beat. He doesn't lose very often. And annoyingly, he's not going to lose in the end. If Simmons had beaten Steve Williams here, I think it's hard to say whether or not he suddenly would have had a run with the belt that people were interested in. But booking like this did not help his cause. They go to a double countout, which is for a world title match where you bring in someone who is a replacement.
Yeah.
You are saying that with 0 hours preparation, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, the world champion couldn't beat him. And that is just bad booking. What happens afterwards is that Simmons then begins beating up Dr. Death a bit more convincingly. He celebrates with his belt because that's the way of trying to get a bit of that heat back, if you like. Oh, I actually did beat him after the bell. He holds up the belt and everyone boos. And they're not booing Simmons, they're booing the cheat of a match result. They were seeing Simmons versus Williams and it's over and there's no winner or loser. They boo him and then Williams gets back in and starts beating up Ron Simmons. And suddenly the referee just rings the bell and they go, we're reversing the decision. So it's not a double count out.
Right.
We've disqualified Dr. Death Steve Williams.
Yeah.
And Jesse goes, again, doing exactly what he did with the It's Not 30 Days. He goes, for what? He says, how can you DQ someone after the match is finished? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You can't have a reversal when they've already had a count out.
That's ridiculous. They don't reverse Super Bowls. They don't reverse NBA championships. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's certainly your
opinion.
The
match is over. You can't get a reversal when they've already had a count out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going back up to Tony Schiavone.
The thing about this is, but hang on, Ron Simmons attacked Dr. Death after the match first.
Yeah.
He beats him up outside the ring and then comes in and goes, look, I've got my heat back. So it's like, well, why haven't you disqualified him for doing it first? They come back in the middle of the next match. Again, someone obviously just feeding it down the ear and trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
And they have to say, no, Dr. Death was disqualified by reverse decision because when he attacked Simmons after the belt, he came off the top rope.
Oh, right, okay. So they tried to...
But you can't disqualify someone for going off the top rope when it wasn't during the match.
No, exactly.
I thought we voted to get rid of this top rope rule at a Clash of the Champions like about 5 months ago, and it's still hanging around. Just a big nightmare. I did look at this and I thought, well, the other thing is with having all these people reappear, why didn't they just go, you know what, we're going to give the title match to someone who isn't in the Lethal Lottery but is in the locker room, so it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I was like, just get Bobby Eaton out and you have Simmons have a really dominating win. And at least you're like, well, we saw something, we got to see the champion, and he had a good, quick match, and it was fun. I watched the WCW TV programming from the week before.
Yeah.
And Ron Simmons has a match with Bobby Eaton. And I was like, oh, this could have been on the pay-per-view. It was a bad match. It was a bad match. It was no good at all. Really poor. So maybe they were right to do this. Within a couple of weeks, Simmons will have lost the WCW title at a house show back to Vader.
Right.
The experiment is over. They don't feel that Simmons is breaking through as the big baby face. What is sad for Ron Simmons is that because of really bad snow, the arena was only half full, and so he loses his belt back in front of almost
nobody,
no one.
right?
Just heartbreaking. But it is good. I mean, he is regarded, Ron Simmons, as being the first African-American world champion. That's a nice accolade for him to have. He seems like an absolute gent.
Yeah.
And actually, he seems like he's been an absolute gent through the whole of his career.
Yeah.
Seems like a really good dude. Lethal Lottery again, Barry Windham and the Great Muta versus Too Cold Scorpio and Flying Brian Pillman. I would imagine that you really enjoyed Too Cold Scorpio.
Why?
I don't know. I think he's just one of those people that you would watch and go, I like this dude.
All right, okay. No, weirdly, I just didn't sort of get any vibes off him.
Oh,
no.
That's bad news. When he came along, really, and this is his, I think, first pay-per-view appearance for WCW, he was a revolution. He was doing moves that nobody in the US had ever seen before. He did a 450 splash, which was a sort of big somersault off the top rope where he landed people. And people were like, that is defying the laws of gravity and physics. He was a guy called Charles Skaggs, which is a terrible name.
It's like, is it Boz Skaggs, the folk musician?
That's right, yeah. But Charlie Skaggs is a sort of...
Charles Bernard Skaggs. It's a strong second name, isn't it?
It is. There's nothing you can do with it.
No.
It souned a bit like Skanky. It sounds a bit like Skag, which again is bad. It sounds like Scab. I mean, it's just appalling. He debuted in 1992. He'd spent quite a lot of time on independence, but I think he'd actually had a stint in New Japan where he'd learnt at the dojo. What he's sort of famous for, two things really. He is a tough guy. We saw him in the Brawl for All from 1998 when he's in the WWE. And he's legendarily a really tough guy, even though at the time he was seen as being very small. I think by modern standards, he'd be quite big. And the other thing he's famous for is Mick Foley in his autobiography says that Too Cold Scorpio has the biggest cock of any wrestler that he's ever seen.
Good-o.
Whenever I watch him now, that is the first thing I sort of think
Batista,
of.
to be honest. That's the rumour that goes around about him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would start that rumour about myself.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of start the rumour about yourself, though, isn't it?
Hello, everybody. Oh, who's got a big dick? Me? Yes. A pleasure to meet you. Hello. Where do I sign?
DVLA meeting.
Yeah.
Where do I get my replacement certificate?
Muta is so good. I'm a huge fan of Muta. He was in WCW in 1989 to about 1991. Since then, he's gone back to Japan. He has become one of the biggest stars over there. He's the IWGP champion, their main belt in New Japan. And the crowd know him, and they know him as being a good wrestler. So Muta is probably, at this point, the most famous Japanese wrestler in America. He doesn't have a great show here.
Right.
He's out 3 times. His second match, the one against Master China, we will talk about, but I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a dull match. And here he's slightly sort of anonymous in this match. You have Barry Windham and Flying Brian, who are the tag team, playing a sort of, they're having to beat each other up, and, that's the focus of the match. And so Muta's lost a little bit in the mix there. The problem with the Pillman and Windham thing, and I think I mentioned it last week, is yes, in the Lethal Lottery, you want to see tag team partners go against each other. But this is a brand new tag team. They're rule breakers, and they're about to have a title match later in the card. It's ridiculous to put them together and sort of sow those seeds of dissent at this level. What they could have done, of course, is they could have had Windham and Pillman refuse to fight each other. That would be a little bit of business. That would give some point to the match. And instead, they're sort of like, oh yeah, we'll beat each other up a bit because the Battle Bowl ring, so important. What's more important? Is it the tag team titles or the Battle Bowl ring?
Yeah.
It's
just been introduced.
Today.
We had to get Sting back to take his. And there's a lot of Muta on this show. And I'm not complaining because I really like his, when he does a move, he does a little karate dance. I like it. I like the fact that his makeup stays on for like 5 seconds, but like 2 minutes at maximum. But yeah, I don't like shows where you see the same person over and over again. I don't care whether it is like a tournament kind of style. It
does not work. It certainly doesn't work in this thing because it's almost like you're in too many matches. Muta does a tag, a singles, and a battle royal. The King of the Ring format in WWF, you do see them again, but that works because you go from the first match and you sort of go, oh yes, and he hurt his leg. And in the second one, you're like, will the leg injury? You can tell stories. But with this one, with the matches all being different and the opponents all being different, it's just jerky.
And just knowing full well that, he can't get injured in this one because he's got another match to go.
Completely. And it just, there is one bit I loved in this match, which is Muta does a sort of spinning back kick in Brian Pillman's face really hard. And it was like ones where the only thing I can compare it to is when you were at school and once every year or so, some kid would say to another kid, right, just stand there a second. And the kid would stand there and the other kid would pull off like a spinning bird kick and they'd be shocked at how well it went, but they'd knock the other kid out. And you would see it and you would just go, my God, that was a thing of fucking beauty.
Oh, yeah. I've seen videos online of like kids like doing a perfect, like off the wall slap or kick and stuff. And
exactly.
It's like, and the kid is dead.
They run up the wall, they flip back, and as they're going down, the knee hits the kid on the back of the head.
Yeah, it could not have gone better. But you nearly killed a kid.
Muta does basically that. And the only thing he doesn't do is go, just wait there, look over there, okay, and just wait there, I'm going to try something. Bang.
I can't believe he's still wrestling for, like, Noah in Japan.
He is, still going. I mean, he recently won the GHC title, which was Noah's belt. People were very much like, he is too old for this, and he does struggle in the ring. He has moments of brilliance, that sort of thing of a veteran working, but the moments of brilliance come where he covers his limitations rather than does something that you go, oh, no one else can do that. You're just like, oh, it's almost like the old days, the way he sort of managed to pull that off. It is hard, but Windham does a double arm DDT onto Scorpio, and then Muta goes up to do his moonsault. Still sort of regarded as being one of the great moves of the early 90s, even though the man he does it on was doing a much better, exciting top rope move with a 450 splash. And Muta does the moonsault. He misses Too Cold Scorpio by quite a lot. And then he pins him and Pillman sort of breaks up the count, but the referee is like, no, that's 3. And again, just those bad things where you go, had that been a neater end, you might have gone, oh, that's quite good, but just adds the whole thing that nobody is really used to working with the other. And so everything is a bit off by about 10 to 15%. Very annoying. So the people going through to Battlebowl are Van Hammer, Dan Spivey, Dustin Rhodes, Vader, Barry Windham, Great Muta, Steve Williams, and Sting. But before Battlebowl, we are going to be seeing pretty much all of those people at least once more, if not twice.
Reason.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? The people who weren't used, who are sitting in the locker room when we see the shots of the locker room. Paul Orndorff, Tony Atlas, Brad Armstrong, Slazenger and Pierce, who became the Godwins, Vinny Vegas, Scotty Flamingo, who had become Raven, Tom Zenk, Johnny Gunn, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Steve Austin, and Bobby Eaton. It is just...
Diesel and Steve Austin in the fucking dressing room.
I know, it's a bit fucking mad, isn't it? But instead they're like, no, the people want to see Dan Spivey wrestle twice. I'm not sure I want to see him wrestle once.